All right, so we're going online quickly and we want to solve problems at a glance. We really want students to not worry about things that they don't need to worry about. We want to answer their questions without them even having to ask them. So how can we solve those problems quickly and easily so students just glance at their screen and see the answers? The easiest way to make e-learning, which is what we all need to use, easy to navigate is to organize by due dates, because that's what students really care about. When is this due? That's the most frequent question that they have. So look at your menu there on your left. Look at that menu in e-learning and make it easy for them to navigate so they know what it is they're doing. Here's an example, my welcome page, getting started. I've updated this. Welcome to BCom 3310. Some things have changed, but we're still going to have a great semester, so be positive. Please begin by reading the updated syllabus. Go to each week to see what is due. That answers some immediate questions. Here's that syllabus. They know it's updated. It has an updated name. You don't have to use the same name as me, but make sure that it's clear it's updated and that they can find it easily. All right. Put resources that they need, anticipate their questions, make sure it's all there so that they can use it. And these are the things I want you to really look at. See these first questions all get answered immediately. Okay, so when you want to add to the menu, you can go up into the left-hand corner and you can click that plus sign. I have the big arrow pointing to the plus sign, see right there? And you can create a new content area. And I would advise you to put everything that's due next to a due date or a week of due date. Decide whether you want to, how you want to do attendance. I would urge you to do attendance once a week, maybe Monday or Tuesday, with 24 hours just for students to log in and contribute and show that they're working, and then due dates later in the week. And I would typically have one day set each week for attendance, for making sure everyone understands what's due, etc., and then one day each week that's typically the due date. It might be Friday, it might be Sunday evening, but sometime that is the same typically. And if there's any deviations, explain. You can also put, course links, web links. You can create subheaders and dividers, like this is a subheader, and then I have little lines that are dividers here. And that's what it looks like when you add it, make it available, click submit. And then you're going to need to organize this. When you create a new item on the menu, you're going to need to move it around. And as you can tell, when you click on it as an instructor, you get the choice to move it up and down the menu. So not a bad thing to do. Announcements. You should probably be functioning via announcements that you also send to their email, their UT Dallas email, to announce any changes, to remind students of what's coming up. So I would announce changes and put the graded assignments and what they need to do via 1 or 2 announcements. Be really clear. Here's what mine looks like, announcing here's how our semester's changed. I did change the syllabus and syllabus calendar, and I highlighted everything that changed in my syllabus. So you can highlight in yellow, you can highlight in peach like I did, and then I copied the peach sections that were changed to an announcement and sent that to the students, telling them you can look here, you can look here. I am also doing a little screen capture video. You don't need to do any videos whatsoever if you don't feel comfortable, so don't worry about it. Next thing, make sure you have really clear subject lines because students are going to want to know what this is all about. And if you add anything, be very obvious about what changed and why, and address that multiple times. Okay, reminders. You might want to, since everything is now online, create some pre-scheduled reminders in your announcements to go out to students. So when you're asleep next week or the week after and the students have a big assignment due, you can send out an announcement. You can send it out for that next morning, for the morning before the assignment's due. You can have it go out 2 days before, but you can pre-schedule announcements, and that's really a brilliant thing. So this is, basically selecting date restrictions, pre-schedules announcements, and make sure that students are paying attention. Okay, on the pages themselves of content, your content pages, be clear. I would start every page with an item. So when you go add item and go over what they're going to find on that page. Please don't create many content folders. The more clicks that students have to go through in order to get to something, the more confused they're likely to be. So tell them what you're going to tell them. Hello, here's what you need to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure that they understand what is due and when it's due. And then, and then have that information on that due date. So, put everything that's due week 12 in week 12. If you have any other, you can also have other ways to organize this. Some people have a single page with everything that's due for the rest of the semester. And they'll create items saying, here's what's due this week, here's what's due this week. And that also helps students. But be really clear, because when they're online, they're going to get confused in the middle of the night and frustrated because they have multiple classes. So just double check everything and make sure it's helpful for them. Now, what do you need to know that's new software? What you should probably do is go to UTD Qualtrics, Qualtrics, in Google, and go to that page and make sure that you can log into Qualtrics. And I would survey my students. I would just ask them some basic questions, and we can copy this basic survey over to you. So if you want it, let me know. We'll copy it over. This was created by, I think it was either Catherine Lickadoo or Sarah Moore, or both of them. They did an excellent job. These are good, might have been McLean Watson, I don't remember. But this is an excellent set of questions that can anticipate student technology issues and other issues that you want to know about. So this is a nice anonymous way to survey students. It's not really anonymous, you do ask for their information, but it's an easy way that they don't feel is tied to e-learning to survey students and find out if they need help, how they need help. If a student only has a smartphone, you want to know that now. Okay. What other new technology do you need to know? You probably want to know Blackboard Collaborate. Now that's available in eLearning right now for you to look at. And if you open it up, you're going to be able to see, tell me about Collaborate, hooray! And you can kind of go through a tutorial. You can please go through a tutorial and sit through the tutorial that our people are putting on. You can also go to YouTube and find out a little bit more about how to approach this. Now, some students are going to have bandwidth issues, and maybe only their audio is going to be what works for them. So, knowing that that is an issue, if you're going to do, some people immediately see this and think, oh, I'm going to do a synchronous presentation to 45 students in the class, and they can watch it on Blackboard Collaborate. Well, you can kind of teach from Blackboard Collaborate, but I would just record your session and make it available to students and not make it something that they have to be there for at a particular time, because you might run into issues. So, but it's a great way to do office hours. It is a great way to do student group presentations. So if you have student groups and they need to present, you've created the groups, obviously, and you can click on those groups and they have access to Blackboard Collaborate through the menu, but they also have access to Blackboard Collaborate here through their group. So when you click on it, you can look at it and they can look at it. So they can be in charge in their group and they can do group recordings. And this is fantastic because you can tell them to record 3 or 4 times and then just tell them you're going to look at the most recent one. So, this is a way to ensure that they're working together and that they're practicing their presentation, but you don't have to be sitting over them at all times. You can require that they do 1 or 2 recordings and then, just double check to make sure they did it. Ask them, then their then their discussion board for that week, which is a great way to measure attendance, can be about problems that they encountered with Blackboard Collaborate or questions that they had. So this is what it's going to look like when there aren't any recordings, and obviously once you start having recordings, they'll be listed here in that group room. Now, what else might you want to have as far as new technology? TechSmith makes Snagit and they make Camtasia. Snagit is a very easy screen captures tool, and as you can tell, it's right here on my screen. It makes it really easy for me to capture a screen, and I can do short videos if I really want to, and I can upload them to YouTube. Now, there's not a lot of editing that I can do to a video. When I have it, I have it. And it's best suited for like 1-2 minute videos. Now, I hate to say this, but as far as significant, important things that you have to share with your students, typically you can refine that down to 1 or 2 minutes if it's a technology screen issue. So I personally think Snagit is one of the best ways to go. Now, you may want to get Camtasia anyway. We have licenses for both Snagit and Camtasia, which is why I'm showing you the screen. You're going to want to email eLearning at utdallas.edu for the licensing information. You can go ahead and get the trial versions. Sometimes having Camtasia will make exporting from Snagit to YouTube much easier. Obviously, you can just save as an MP4 and just drag and drop over. When you are in YouTube, there's that little camera sign and there's a plus, and that's how you go see the plus sign and you can just drag and drop. You can do that as well from your cell phone. So if you want to do, like a little welcome video screen capture from your cell phone and just say, hey, I'm hard at work, as are you, and be sitting at your little desk smiling at them, raising your mug, ready to go, which is always a nice way to greet people. Just a minute of you saying, hi, I'm here, I really care about you, we're going to get through this together. You can do that if you just download the YouTube app. You can upload from your videos directly into YouTube, and it's pretty straightforward. So don't panic. You don't have to learn that much to be very successful teaching online for the end of the semester. And don't put a lot of pressure on yourself to learn everything. What does have to happen is that your gradebook has to be online. So let's get your gradebook in eLearning, your complete gradebook from which you will have your grades for the semester, and get your teaching organized. And this is going to be a really good end of the semester. I hope you're doing well. I'm thinking of you all because I'm here doing this too. And we can get through this together. Bye.